dan sedang menyemak semula skim gaji dan allowance tetap penjawat awam yang kali terakhir dilaksanakan hanya pada tahun 2012.
Malaysia's budget 2024 is slated to be tabled in Parliament this to contain ballooning debt.
First of all, what is a subsidy? Subsidy in general is financial assistance or support provided by the government to individuals, businesses, or the sector of the economy. To be more specific, subsidy is a type of a government expenditure for individuals and households, as well as businesses with the aim of stabilizing the economy. More than that, the Ministry of Domestic Trade and Cost of Living in Malaysia has posted an infographic about what is subsidy and what is the objective of subsidy. Also, what is the objective of subsidy? KPD and HEP has stated that the objective of the subsidy are to reduce the cost of living and reduce operating costs so as to alleviate financial burdens on consumers and businesses, ultimately fostering economic stability and social welfare.
Malaysia has implemented various subsidies over the years to achieve different economic and social objectives. These subsidies have been applied to different sectors including food, education, healthcare and utilities. It is important to note that subsidies programs can change over time based on economic conditions, government policies and evolving priorities. Here are some subsidies that Malaysia has implemented in the past. The first one is fuel subsidies. Malaysia has historically provided subsidies on fuel, particularly on petrol and diesel, to keep prices at the pump lower than the actual market prices. The subsidies were aimed at reducing the financial burden on consumers and businesses. The next one is healthcare subsidies. Subsidies are provided in the healthcare sector to ensure affordable access to medical services and medication. This may include subsidies healthcare facilities, medicine and medical treatment. And the last one is food subsidies. The government has implemented subsidies on essential food items to ensure their affordability for the general population. This may include items like rice, sugar and cooking oil. However, there have been issues recently regarding the
Subsidies, which are monetary aid or incentives given to people, companies or industry to encourage particular actions or accomplish particular policy goals, are implemented mostly by the government. Subsidies are primarily used to improve social and environmental issues, promote selected industry and promote economic growth. The following are some important phases of the government's involvement in the implementation of subsidies. The first one is a budget allocations. The government allocates funds in the national budget to implement subsidies. This involves determining the amount of financial assistance to be provided and ensuring that it's aligned with overall fiscal goals. Secondly, targeted sector. The government allocates funds in the national budget to implement subsidies. This involves determining the amount of financial assistance to be provided and ensuring that it's aligned with overall fiscal goals. Yes, government often implemented targeted subsidies. Targeted subsidies are designed to provide financial assistance to specific sectors, groups, or activities rather than being broadly applied across the entire economy. The targeting of subsidies allows government to direct support where it is deemed most necessary or beneficial. Here are some common types of targeted subsidies, such as education subsidies, healthcare subsidies, housing subsidies, and subsidies for essential goods. Different implementation strategies are used by governments to effectively target and provide subsidies to particular industries, activities, or groups. The targeted population characteristics and the program objectives determine which tactics are used. The following are typical ways that targeted subsidies are implemented, such as means testing, which involves assessing the financial needs or income of potential beneficiaries to determine eligibility for subsidies. This method ensures that assistance is directed to those with lower income who need it the most. Categorically, targeting involves directing subsidies to specific groups based on demographic characteristics such as age, gender, or household compositions. This method allows government to focus on vulnerable populations with unique needs.
The level of regulation and strictness in the oversight of subsidies to eligible recipients can vary widely between different countries and regions. Malaysian government must strike a balance between ensuring the effective use of public funds and avoiding unnecessary bureaucratic burdens. Some consideration regarding the regulation of subsidies to eligible recipients such as transparency and accountability, stringent eligibility criteria and penalty of issue to avoid any unnecessary issue. The implementation of subsidies is a complex process that requires careful consideration of various factors to ensure effectiveness, efficiency and fairness. Some factors that should be taken into account are the budgetary constraints, economic conditions and public acceptance and perception.
Hi, today we have Miss Ayu. So Miss Ayu will be our first consumer. So Miss Ayu, what do you think about the price of our rice now and then?
Untuk harga beras sekarang dengan dulu ada banyak perbezaan lah, sebab kalau dulu harga beras murah lah, tapi kalau untuk yang sekarang dah mahal dan susah nak dapat, beras pun susah nak dapat untuk masa yang sekarang. So kerajaan sepatutnya bagi subsidi lebih lah untuk pengguna-pengguna, untuk especially untuk peniaga lah. Peniaga susah untuk dapat harga beras yang murah untuk waktu yang sekarang.
Terima kasih. What do you think the difference between the price of the essential goods of now and then?
Now and then.
Yeah.
Then means when? Which
Like 5 years back or 10 years back then?
Of course, back then it's much more cheaper. Because it's increased.
What do you think about the subsidy that given by the government? Is it helpful or not?
If you ask me, yes, it's helpful, but looking at the lifestyle today, maybe the subsidy probably not enough, especially those low income earners.
Okay. So can you give like examples like with like example like 50 ringgit back then what can you get, and 50 ringgit nowadays what can you get?
Back then,
Yeah.
you can get a lot of stuff. Nowadays, I mean, back then 50 ringgit actually you buy a lot of stuff. Today, 50 ringgit you can buy 2-3 stuff.
Yeah. Alright, thank you for your time.
Sure.
Hi Miss, can I ask you?
Yeah.
How are you?
Thank you for asking. I am good.
Okay, actually I have a question for you about the subsidies. Okay, how do you think subsidies impact the overall cost of the living in Malaysia?
For me, subsidy has been very convenient before, but now it's kinda not enough for us. For example, if then we can buy oil, rice, and sugar in one receipt of 50 ringgit. But now, 50 ringgit we only can buy rice. So for me, 50 ringgit is lower lah now. Yeah, I think government should increase the budget of subsidy. Yeah, that's my opinion.
Based on the impact toward consumers, there is an issue related to the rice subsidy, such as the phenomenon of hidden rice, where subsidy price is deviated or not reaching its intended beneficiarity. It can have several impacts on the public. This impact may vary depending on the scale of the issues, the effectiveness of response measures, and the significance of the rice as a staple food in the affected community or country. From your point of view, did you have any point regarding towards this issue, ANEEQ?
Yes, Sarah. The issue is price increases as it is considered as a food that is hard to get because other products are in a low stock. This can affect consumers who depend on affordable rice prices and may lead to higher overall living costs for those who spend a significant portion of their income on food. Other than that, the impact of this issue is policy re-evaluation. Subsidy issues may prompt policymakers to re-evaluate and reform existing subsidy programs. This could involve implementing more effective distribution mechanisms, improving transparency, and addressing corruption to ensure that subsidies reach their intended recipient.
Not only that, the issue of full subsidies stolen by the Singaporeans has been viral, and it causes public dissatisfaction as the full aid subsidies for Malaysian citizens. Moreover, citizens may express dissatisfaction and frustration if they perceive that subsidy funds mean for domestic use is being misappropriated for export or illegal activities. This could erode public trust in the government. All in all, the country also experienced full states may suffer economic losses due to the misappropriation of subsidies funds. This could strain the national budget and reduce the funds available for other essential services and development projects.
The current subsidy policy is sustainable in the long term.
What measure could be taken to ensure their sustainability?
I believe it is very subjective actually. Okay, it depends on the target groups, alright, and also it depends on the purpose of that kind of the subsidies. Whether it is sustainable or not, at the first place, I would say that it is sustainable because the subsidies that the government has allocated through this government intervention actually eat out the government expenditure. So to ensure that there is a long sustainability, so government should from time to time re-evaluate that and revisit this kind of the subsidies to the people and also to the industry that are receiving.
Based on your expertise, what unique perspective can you offer about the role and impact of subsidy in Malaysia socio-economic and landscape?
From my perspective, yes, it is so true. By giving a subsidy, allocation or subsidization really help in terms of our economic landscape. And indirectly, it help to boost the living standard of Malaysia, of the people in Malaysia, especially the low income needs. But on the government should from time to time look at those who are actually in need, okay, in giving the subsidy, because giving the subsidy, we have to know one thing, okay, as much as it help the people, okay, and also the industry, it actually give an effect to the government side. So there should be a government reformation, okay, in terms of this kind of the subsidy policies and so on.
So my first question is, what are the potential benefits of redirecting funds saved from subsidy, reform towards investments such as education, healthcare, infrastructure, and other areas of national development?
For the nation, of course, we can save our spending, okay, because we allocate for the targeted what you call activities ataupun targeted subsidies lah. Not everybody can enjoy the subsidy. As example, like petrol, right? We can manage our finance effectively, efficiently, because there's no leakage. Okay, we know that the subsidy must go for B40, especially the needy lah.
How can the government better target subsidies to ensure they reach the intended beneficiaries and avoid leakage to higher income groups?
Firstly, we need to relook our income level. Cost of living is increasing, so you need to change first, okay, and then who is the B40, who is the M40, who is the T20. So you must go the new classification of income group, okay, in terms of the level of income lah. Second, there is the mechanism is complex actually, okay, because we need to deal with the society. So I think through the good policies, example like for the petrol example, maybe you can have some identification card ID, or you have a system that, okay, if you want to get a petrol, you need to some identification that you are eligible for the subsidy. But it's not easy, okay. But there's some mechanism that we must have to identify those that needs for that petrol subsidy.
Good day, folks. Today we're talking about making sure subsidies get to the right people. Step 1. Know your audience. We're talking about low-income folks, seniors, and families who could use a hand. To reach them better, we are using smart methods like sorting by category or location. This ensures the help goes when it's needed the most.
Hey, it's not a one-person show. The government, even with local heroes like a food bank and community groups, together they are making sure the help reaches the folks who really need it. Okay, now let's get techy. Ever heard of mobile magic? Policymakers are thinking smart by using mobile solutions. It's like a superpower that making everything clear and easy.
True. With mobile tech, the whole process becomes breeze for those getting the help. It's all about transparency, control, and making things user-friendly.
So, in a nutshell, understood your crowd, team up with local champs, and add a touch of mobile magic. That's the recipe for making subsidy work really like a champ. Stay tuned for more updates.
That's all from us. Thank you. That's all from us. Thank you. Hai, nama saya Alissa. Tak apa, aku
Buat tak boleh sambung.
Kaki aku straight jalan.
Seri birokratik burdens. Mana birokratik?
cost of living. I